Welcome to the Games Freezer.
SNES football games were shite. SNES football games were shite. SNES football games were shite. SNES football games were shite.
World Cup USA 94. It's here. Right in the US of A. With ball juggling dogs and light switches. This is the greatest game on earth. Look at this dog. He's such a cool customer. Spinning on his nose. Look at that. US Gold presents World Cup USA 1994. Gets to you fast. Hello, this is Richard. This is Games Freezer, and this is SNES Football Games with Shite. And we bring you World Cup USA 94 by US Gold. This was the World Cup that England didn't qualify for. And I remember watching literally every single game of this World Cup. From the moment Diana Ross shanked her penalty low bottom left and the goal exploded, to the moment in the final when Brazil played Italy and Roberto Baggio shanked his penalty about 2 miles over the bar. So yeah, a very memorable World Cup because England weren't in it, and hence why they're not in this list. Although Ireland were there, they beat Italy 1-0 I think in the group stages. Ray Houghton lob, great goal. So this game, I've come across it before and I've only ever heard pretty negative things about it, so I'll go into this with not much hope for it, I've got to admit. I'm going to attempt to put in G Freezer. Now I've started it, I've got to finish it, I suppose, haven't I? See if it fits. G3. God, I wish I'd never started this now. Been a bit cack-handed. Right, G3's, come on, nearly there. Get in there. Right, we're going to be Holland, because that was the team that I enjoyed watching the most around this time. This was the World Cup that meant that Spurs ended up signing half of the Romanian team off the back of this World Cup, and we also signed Jurgen Klinsmann. So another reason to make this a memorable World Cup. Obviously, tails never fouls. My ultimate rule. Tails didn't foul. Good stuff. And away we go. Right, so yeah, never heard much positivity about this game, I've got to admit, but it plays pretty nicely. But it's kind of sort of in between view, kind of not so far out that it's sensible soccer, but not so close up that it's like your standard arcade sort of game view. Could probably do with going out another sort of few yards up in the air to give yourself a bit more pitch that you can see. It's kind of like the 3/4 view, or if they gave you the option to change the view about a bit. But the actual game itself is pretty nice. You've got this this auto pass button that will find a player or put it in general. Oh, off the post, nice. Oh, here we go again. Oh, Shooter makes it 1-0 for sure. Nice sliding tackle there, and looks up, bends it in the far post. 1-0 to Holland. That's a great start for the boys. Anyway, yeah, it's got a nice set of controls on it. It took me a while to work out how to shoot, though, I've got to admit. The shoot button was just sending out this little, I don't know, this little piddly shot. It weren't even a worm burner. It was more of just a loop straight into the keeper's arms, like a baby kicking a balloon or something. It was awful. So yeah, it took me a little while to work that out. Couldn't find out as always, it's a standard story. Couldn't find out the instructions online. Wasn't a scan of the SNES instructions that I could find. I found some Genesis ones, but not the SNES. So eventually I worked out that it's basically a long press of the shoot button. You can press that shoot button while you're running as well, and as soon as it's got enough power up, it'll release a shot, or you can release it when you think there's enough power on it as well. So there comes the art of trying to work out how to get a decent shot off, and that works pretty well. Once you know how to do it, it does work pretty well. You've got this kind of other sort of lofted pass button as well on there. That was actually a shot, that one. I was trying to boomhauer from 30 yards out, 40 yards out. Oh, great save keeper. But the game flows pretty fast, and this, blimey, the opponents are pretty tough. In fact, I mean, this Saudi Arabia team are playing like Brazil, and they're mugging me left, right and centre whenever I'm going forward. But it's a good challenge. I don't actually feel like, when I've played this before this recording, I never felt like I was being cheated out of a match. It just felt that maybe I weren't playing well enough. So that's good. So then you know you can. Oh, bollocks! I wanted to play that down. Oh, he's smashed that in off the bar. Wow! I wanted to play that down the line, and then he's knocked it inside instead. That was the auto pass. That's why that. Oh, straight in the roof of the net. I think the keeper's had a bit of a nightmare there. He's jumped up and it's swerved into the top corner instead. So away we go, ref. I like the little cutscene parts that come up as the ref sort of calls for the game to be started and for the next half to be started, and any throw-ins. That looks pretty cool as well. It's a good addition to the game. Makes it for a good overall presentation on it. Oh, he's stuck that in the top corner. This Saudi Arabia team really are running amok. Wow, from centre. After a solid first half, we're now getting taken to the cleaners by this Saudi Arabia team. He's stuck that right in the top bins. No chance. Good goals on this as well, in terms of the actual goals themselves. Nice looking. No expense spared, compared to what I have been playing with the likes of Tony Miola's, which is, this keeper's having a nightmare. It's 3-1 now after a shot that he should have just dealt with straight away. It's gone straight down his throat, and yet he's still managed to turn. Oh my gosh, he's jumped up on one leg, done the Highland jig, and then for some reason he's let that go right past him. Oh, that's a shocker. Oh dear. Oh no, it's 4-1. Oh my god. 1-0 up, 4-1 down. Wow. What do I do from here? I don't know, really. To be fair, it's a bit of a shocker, to say the least. So the actual game itself, though, is pretty fun. It's good fun to play, honest. Even though I'm getting battered by Saudi Arabia, it's actually flows pretty well. It's similar to Dino Dini's Goal. So if you've ever played that, similar kind of feel, except it's kind of semi-stick to the foot, but not quite. You can trap the ball as well. So if you want to sort of slow down and pick your pass, you can do. The only problem I find, though, is you don't see enough of the screen to be able to plan forward in order to understand who's in front of you and whereabouts you want to pass it. So that's the only sort of downside of it. Like I say, it could do with going out a few more yards on the camera view, and then you'll get a better picture of the actual pitch and who's available as you go forward with it. But it moves at quite a rate, so it creates for really good games that are end to end. If I could stop giving the ball away to them, that would help. My keeper keeps tipping it over the bloody bar instead of just catching it. But it makes for fast games and quite free flowing. So I'm surprised I've never heard more things about this game other than kind of negativity. But it's obviously come about at a time when you've got sensible world of soccer, and maybe the likes of Dino Dini's Goal as well, which is a cracking game when that came out. But this seems to have got more back post. The keeper's had a nightmare. I'm blaming the keeper for all of these. Look at this. Swings it in. Should really be dealing with it. He's come out for it. He's got nowhere near it. And back post, old Al Sheikh has tapped it in for 5-1. Wow, great day in Saudi Arabian sporting history, to be fair. There's some goals galore there, I tell thee. Anyway, yeah, it's got a lot to it. It's got a nice, nearly hit back there with a Shulton Thunderbolt. It's got nice detailing in the crowd, nice detailing on the pitch. Seems to be not a rush job, in my opinion, and I reckon if I played this a bit more, I could really get good at it and actually play a couple of good multiplayer games on it. I think it's definitely suited to that. It's easy to pick up, and if you've ever played the likes of Goal or maybe even Sensi, easy one to pick up once you've understood how to shoot properly, which is the thing that's stopping me from enjoying it at the start. It's odd as well that when you get a slide tackle going, and the referee's going to book the player, the player's number goes yellow before he actually books them, which kind of makes you think, oh, he's already been booked, but he hasn't. Anyway, there you go, full time. Actually, quite a good game in my opinion. One that I'd replay definitely. And there's not many of those. I've got to say that when I've been doing these SNES football games with Shite that kind of fit into that category. So where do we stand in turd ratings? Well, I'm gonna say this is a no turd game. This is a thumbs up special. So there you go. This is Richard. This is Games Freezer SNES football games with Shite. See you soon.
www.gamesfreezer.eu